think it's a pretty well-known feeling in the community when it comes to Money in the Bank, who should really win the men's and women's Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, as you guys saw on Monday Night Raw, WWE invited Logan Paul to Monday night in Cleveland, and then on Monday, he basically threw his name into the field of men who already qualified for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Some people think WWE did it because they felt WWE didn't have enough star power in the Money in the Bank men's ladder match. I didn't really care about the lack of star power. The men's Money in the Bank match should be a match to catapult the next in line, the future of the WWE. If it's long-term or short-term, it should be the next guy in line that WWE sees as the next top guy. We already know Logan Paul is a top guy. But I think if you ask everybody who you want to win that men's Money in the Bank, it's L.A. Knight. If you ask about the ladies, it's Io Shirai or Io Sky. For the ladies, that would make for a memorable moment, a memorable night for WWE at the O2 in London. Now there's a report that there's a major breakthrough for LA Knight potentially being discussed for WWE, but there is also speculation that Logan Paul could be winning the Money in the Bank briefcase as a way to get publicity due to his celebrity status. This is where I have a problem with it. Now, we already know what Logan Paul can do. We've seen it several times already in the past. Why do we need to continue to do that? Logan Paul has already paid off for WWE. Now it's just getting in the way of logical creative. That's when I have a problem with it. PW Insider Elite reports that the plan all along was for Logan Paul to be added to the match, something that was made official this past Monday, but there's been no creative changes. If he was planned all along for the match, why did WWE just have him go out there and announce he was a part of the field of 6 that already qualified in qualifying matches? If Logan Paul was already planned all along, why did they have qualifying matches to begin with? They should have just put all these 6 guys in the Money in the Bank briefcase and announced them over a week-by-week basis and then kind of lay it on to everybody that Logan Paul was going to be in the match. In recent weeks, there has been a movement among fans for WWE to give LA Knight a big push and see Money in the Bank as a perfect start. The report noted that while they haven't heard any 100% definitive plans about the match, there are certainly people pushing for it to be the LA Knight breakthrough moment. Vince McMahon is still in charge of the show, which I'll get to in a second. As you guys already know, I don't need to tell you anything. Vince McMahon is still running the show. Who do you think Vince is going to choose the day of? Right now, it may be LA Knight. Right now, management, when Vince is not there and Triple H is discussing with his team, yo, Paul, who do you want to win? Money in the Bank. Yeah, we're going to go with LA Knight. LA Knight's our guy. And then we get to that Money in the Bank day on Saturday, and Vince is there. Paul, let me see the rundown for the show. LA Knight. Who's that, pal? Logan is here. Logan is going to be Mr. Money in the Bank, pal. That's good shit. It's exactly what I see playing out, even though we all know LA Knight should win the Money in the Bank brief. If LA Knight does not win Money in the Bank, I'm sorry. I said this on Tuesday with Andrew Baydala on Tuesday Night Titans. If you missed that video, go check it out. It's either LA Knight, the front runner, or a very, very way behind dark horse in Damian Priest, because that serves as a possible great story with them splitting either Balor or Priest away from Judgment Day. Simple. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, LA Knight was also in the news, and there's a small article here that he was interviewed by the Daily Mail, and Knight noted that there was an internal concern about his age. There you go, man. Another thing to keep in mind when Vince McMahon arrives at the O2 on Saturday for Money in the Bank. An internal concern about his age, and that's why he was turned into a manager with Max Dupree. He caught the attention of WWE officials after working a dark match. He says, and I quote, "I come up for a dark match. I get the attention of the right people. Hey, who is this guy? But then at the age, that I am, the age thing comes up. Oh no, he's around 40 years old. Danger, danger. Will Robinson. I'm not the average 40-year-old. I haven't gone through the ringer. I haven't had a bunch of surgeries or injuries. Knock on wood. I've lived a good life, a good youthful life in a certain sense, and I've taken care of myself in a way I would say most don't. And also, I look a certain way where obviously I got somebody's attention, but that number came up, and it was like, well, okay, maybe we make him a manager. Some things happened there. It was not my cup of tea, clearly. And definitely, I don't think it was for me. But somehow, there I was. Some things happened that we don't need to get into. And then eventually, LA Knight was back, end quote. There is an ageism thing in WWE. WWE is very against pushing anybody over the age of 40. But when you look at, Tamina and R-Truth and Randy Orton and Edge and Bobby Lashley and AJ Styles and guys like Dolph Ziggler, guys like that who are all over the age of 40. Tamina over the age of 40, right, as a lady on the roster. Why are we complaining about pushing LA Knight? He's not even 40 yet. He's a 38-year-old. He don't look 38, and he's got the mic skills of anybody that you would like to have, right? One of the best on the roster. He's very good in the ring. Entertaining guy. He's got a great personality. Fucking charisma through the roof, yet you don't want to push the guy. There is an ageism thing in the WWE, but I need to tell you guys, and I want you to be aware of what's going on here. Ageism is a thing, but this is not a part of the ageism problem in WWE. Max Dupree being created from what we got with LA Knight. LA Knight got called up and was made into Max Dupree because it fell in line with the narrative and the agenda to bury everything Triple H did. LA Knight was a Triple H creation. LA Knight was a Triple H NXT black and gold character. And every single time somebody got called up from black and gold, whether it was in the heyday, in the prime of NXT, or now, Vince and Bruce, while they were in charge, looked to kill. Triple H created, Vince killed. It's the way of the WWE. This was more along the lines of, hey, let's kill what Paul created here because he may have something and we don't want it to get over. Otherwise, we have to credit Paul Levesque. That's all it is. This is not an ageism thing, and nor should it be. Because WWE will get flack for that on social media nowadays because there are plenty that they are featuring on TV. Sheamus is another one over 40 who has had major matches this year. Give me a break. This is not about an ageism thing. This is about, hey, can we kill another creation of Paul Levesque before anybody finds out? That's exactly what it is. And I mentioned Vince McMahon being in charge and Money in the Bank being up in about a week and Logan Paul winning it and who Vince McMahon would rather have, Logan Paul or LA Knight. Apparently, Ricochet exposes Vince McMahon. News that I'm sure you already know about, but there, believe it or not, are some people out there that don't understand what's going on. Ricochet spoke to Joe Baiamonte of Sporf. Ricochet was asked about whether McMahon is involved in creative. Vince is still involved in creative, says Ricochet, and Vince is still talked to. He's still somebody that everyone looks to, especially with creative. So he's got his fingers in everything, too. I think Triple H and everybody in creative are just trying to do the best that they can and bringing out the best in who they have. They're trying to work to everyone's strengths. I think that's something that Triple H has always done. They want to grow the brand as much as possible, whether it's Raw or SmackDown or NXT. They're trying to highlight the strengths of everybody. I think it's been great so far. Everybody sees the popularity of the brand now, so they just want to expand on it as much as possible. I think what we've been doing recently with everyone has been great. Everybody's been going out there and giving it their all, end quote. If you watch Raw, 50% of it is a Triple H show and 50% of it is a Vince McMahon show. Vince allows Triple H to do what he needs to do with some of his guys, right? Like a Bronson Reed, like a Shinsuke Nakamura, like a Johnny Gargano and a Tommaso Ciampa and a Dexter Lumis and guys like that. Vince will allow Triple H to handle his guys that he handled previously that Vince otherwise would have killed. Vince McMahon, on the other hand, handles the upper level creative because he doesn't want to be in the weeds anymore. So then we get this weird 50-50 dynamic on Monday Night Raw. I don't know if that's happening on SmackDown, but the last few weeks really has me scratching my head as to why we've gotten 2-minute matches every single fucking week for the last couple of weeks. Don't know why. That's definitely a Vince McMahon thing as well. But thank you, Ricochet, for telling us what most of us already knew. Now, maybe some of you who deny and always jump down my throat about why I'm always mentioning, well, this is a Vince thing, and that's a Vince thing, and this is a Vince McMahon thing creatively. Now maybe you'll get the fucking picture. If Ricochet is saying it, and openly saying it, blatantly saying it to you, then I guess it's okay to admit Vince McMahon is still in charge of creative. Get with the program. Money in the Bank for the ladies. Let's switch to the ladies' side. We got the men, who I feel LA Knight should win it. And then we have the ladies. I think the ladies obviously has more star power. They got Trish, they got Io, they got Becky, they got Bayley. We got some decent women in that match. PW Insider's reporting that they've constantly heard, without fail, that Io Sky has been and remains the front runner for now for the briefcase this year. However, until that happens, Vince McMahon is always going to be a huge question mark. Plans always change. Who's to say Vince doesn't get to the O2 on Saturday with Money in the Bank, and then we get Trish Stratus winning Money in the Bank? We all know that would be a mistake, right? He's going to do the same thing with Logan Paul. LA Knight, how about Logan Paul? He's going to do the same thing with the ladies. You don't think Vince McMahon is going to get to that arena on Saturday, the day of Money in the Bank, and think Trish Stratus should win Money in the Bank? Right now, Io is the odds-on favorite because that's Triple H's team who's in the weeds. But when Vince McMahon sees creative at a higher level, he's going to think Trish Stratus. Just got to throw it out there. I want to make sure everybody is in a common understanding right now that nothing is concrete. If things play out the way that they should at Money in the Bank, fantastic. But until we get there, right now it's, well, yes, this is the right winner, but Vince, until he gets there, we don't know what he's going to do, and he may fuck everything up. Yes, Io is the odds-on favorite, and Io should win the Money in the Bank women's briefcase. And finally, guys, something that I'm very excited about. We have a major return to the WWE that I think everybody is going to enjoy, and that is the return of Carlito. Yes, I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. Yes, undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair, the Usos, Bobby Lashley, Bayley, Solo Sikoa, Austin Theory, Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, the Street Profits, AJ Styles, and LA Knight are all advertised to appear at the Madison Square Garden show in New York City on July 7th, which is a SmackDown TV taping. The event may mark the return of one other name to be added to these lists of names, and that is Carlito. Yes. In fact, if he does return here, he will obviously be affiliated with the SmackDown brand. In May, Carlito returned for a one-off at Backlash when he took part in the San Juan street fight between Damian Priest and Bad Bunny as he helped the LWO and Savio Vega in evening the odds against the Judgment Day's Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Damian Priest. Several weeks ago, Carlito was spotted in Orlando, Florida, doing something with WWE. We don't know what he was doing there, whether he was talking to management or training. Nobody knows. But I know he was at the House of Glory show, and he kind of teased after the show went off the air because I was sitting on commentary after he wrestled Matt Cardona for the HOG Championship. He said, yes, the rumors are true, and then said something in Spanish and then left the building. So we got Carlito being spotted in Orlando, rumors about him showing up in WWE, and Devin Nicholson first claimed that Carlito pulled out of an independent show on July 15th as he couldn't make the show due to him returning to WWE, which would line up with this July 7th SmackDown taping from Madison Square Garden. This is a great pickup. If you guys have seen Carlito lately, He looks fantastic. I've seen him in person. He looks absolutely in the best shape of his life. He looks phenomenal. I think he would be a welcome asset to WWE, especially on the SmackDown side. You could really plug a hole or fill a hole there with him going to SmackDown while LA Knight does win the briefcase and then gets moved over to Monday Night Raw to challenge for Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship. Carlito would be a great fill-in there to fill that spot for LA Knight on Friday night. I would see Carlito also challenging for the United States Championship. You want to have him jump right into the fire, win a couple of matches, go after his first title in WWE, being back in the company. Him versus Austin Theory would be a great match. I have this vision of Austin Theory maybe being a legend killer type guy. You know, I would love to see him coming out of his win from WrestleMania and beating John Cena, go up against guys like Carlito, go up against guys like AJ Styles and Randy Orton maybe, and Edge, right? Guys like that. I think instead of what we're getting with Austin Theory, I feel like he would fit nicely with a legend killer-like gimmick. Hey, I beat John Cena. Let me focus on this other guy, man. Or looking to get the respect of the veteran on the roster because they don't believe in Austin Theory. Something along those lines. Regardless of what you want to do with him, whether it's with Theory or not, I think Carlito being back in the company, he looks great. He's loved. He's a very good in-ring performer, very popular, and the knowledge that Carlito possesses could be one of the biggest assets of him returning to WWE. I am very excited about this, and I hope that this rumor is a reality for Carlito joining the SmackDown brand on Friday night. Guys, that's all I got. I got tons more this weekend. It's going to be a very busy weekend right here on OTS. We got this video out today. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up. And make sure you guys smash that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes minimum today on Off the Script. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. I will see you guys later tonight in the venue right here on the SmackDown post show. After SmackDown goes off the air, I will have more extras throughout the weekend. I will be live after Collision. I will be live after Forbidden Door. I think Jesse's joining me for both. Make sure you guys keep it locked in right here on OTS. Follow me on social media for all the latest updates at JD from NY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. And make sure you guys go check out all of the content that you might have missed on the channel. It's all on the homepage right now. Make sure you guys join me live after SmackDown from the venue right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.